Hello everyone, this is Dave and welcome to Moonride. Today we're going to channel on what's next for Donald Trump. It is Tuesday afternoon here in Australia, so it is Monday night in the United States. I will be doing a good many political readings on state races mostly, House of Representatives and Senators in the next few weeks coming up to the election. Also, Lena Rodriguez and I will be hosting you right here on Election Day, giving you our own take on what's going on as it happens. So be sure to tune in on that day. Let's see what is in store for us a la Donald Trump. Well, he certainly is scheming. Alright. That's an interesting image. I'm seeing like two long poles. Maybe that means just poles, political poles. Okay. So we've got these poles here, and he's got two of them. They're sort of parallel in space here. Okay, I'm just getting the polls are going to go really crazy. The polls keep changing. I'm, again, assuming that this just is our political polls that are ahead of us. And politically, don't count on the polls. They're just going to go nuts between now and then. They're going to go up and down, and I just get him really, like, kind of trying to hold these polls and not necessarily succeeding. And he does not look pleased. So I don't know what the polls will say, but he's not enjoying this either. That is Donald Trump. And they keep throwing and he keeps kind of thrust the polls in my face. I'm kind of getting that the polls that we're seeing are not necessarily reflective of what's going on, right? Keep in mind that, everybody answers the phone and takes the poll. That doesn't mean those people go to vote. It might be completely different this year because it appears that many more people are voting, and that usually means people on the left are getting out the vote. And this year seems extremely strong. So try to take all these polls with a bit of a grain of salt. What else for Donald? What else is it going to do? Okay. Now, what does that mean? I'm seeing a ship, and I don't know why Donald Trump is getting on. Is he getting on the ship? And the ship keeps changing. First, it's a pirate ship, then it's an old ship, then it's a cruiser, an American Navy cruiser. Wow. Okay. So this is an interesting image. Perhaps coincident with the airplane that's flying overhead at the moment. The boat seems to be going away, and it's taking away its the steps that let you go on the boat. Those seem to have disappeared, and he's just standing there as the boat is leaving, and he's kind of looking surprised. And I get the kind of the feeling that ship has sailed. Okay, so there he is at the boat. And he's just standing alone at the dock. His supporters seem to be dissipating. Yeah, people on the street are reacting him with him. They're reacting to him in a kind of a different way. It's almost like they're contemptuous, but they don't care that much as he's walking down the street. Okay, some of the shops seem to be closed or not doing great business. So I see he's walking down the street and there's shops on his left and right, and some of them have broken windows, and some of them look like they're not functioning very well, and they all seem extremely hostile to him as he comes to each door. I just get that there's something will happen with business that won't be good for him. Maybe some economic problem will occur. It might even be that there's some other, you know, just problem of violence that he has created. Okay, and he's walking down this long street, and there's, not many people around. It kind of looks like a banged up neighborhood. He's looking a little bit worried that people might recognize him. Just trying to keep a low profile as he's walking down this street here. I wonder if that is really what I'm seeing in the election. Just that he's going to lose. He's left a mess, and now he's hoping, like, maybe nobody will indict him. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I'm right. So we'll keep walking down the street. What else you see in Donald? Huh. Okay, I was expecting him. I see fast food, and I was thinking, of course, I know that he eats hamburgers from McDonald's, but it actually looks like Jack in the Box. Not sure why that's important, but here we go. Jack in the Box. He's eating his sandwich. He's not looking too healthy right now, and it's not just because of the, not just because of the burger. I think that this is just indicative of a bad health, spiritual and mental health for him. And I think it is like wrapping up, like it's starting to have some effects. He doesn't look like he's able to finish this hamburger, and it looks like it's hurting him, like in his heart. Hmm. He's half finished it. He's sort of thrown it to the ground in anger. And again, this makes me just think Donald's blood pressure is going to be really high. Maybe not necessarily the healthiest guy. Okay, I'm seeing a White House. It's not the White House, but it's just a White House. It's kind of a mundane White House, to tell you the truth. Aha, okay, you know what? He's actually walking up to a door as if he is canvassing, and they're closing the door in his face. So, Spirit, can you give us any more detail? What's something that people can expect just in the next few days from Donald Trump? He's driving an old car. It looks like, a really like funny old car, like an Edsel or something like that. And again, it's not in great shape, but he's driving this old car and he's driving way too fast. Uh, yeah, and it's like, he's driving like with his knuckles bared like that. Okay, now he's pulled over to the side of the road where he's decided to assault some people. It looks like he's assaulting like a woman and her children, and he's just assaulting them, and everybody's just like, "Oh my God, who is this crazy person?" There isn't anybody necessarily with that lady, but there are people who are like, "Oh my God, what's he doing?" He thinks no one can see him doing these terrible things, but somebody caught him. So something's going to come out about him. Yeah, he thinks nobody's looking, but somebody's taking a picture of what he's doing, and they're quite shocked. Spirit, can you tell me anything more about what will happen with Donald Trump in the next few days? Okay, and that little experience moves from just one camera to all of these cameras, and they're kind of surrounding Donald, and they're just really getting in his face, and he's getting angry, but he's also kind of backing up because now he's outnumbered, right? So I get that the media is going to have a real field day with him. They don't look afraid of him this time. The media seems to be really walking in on Donald and confronting him and almost encircling him as he kind of starts to back up. The woman is speaking more about what happened to her. He's trying to lie. The media is not having it. They're pushing him. He's backing up, and they've got his back up against the wall. And it's like there's a canyon, maybe the ocean on the other side. He's backing up against the wall. He doesn't have that much place to go. And when he's really cornered, that's when he's really going to make a fool out of himself. He pulls out a knife, he starts waving it around and threatening random people. In some sense, the more you get him on his stuff, the more he will rant and rant and rant. And I know that doesn't necessarily convince everybody, but it does convince some people that he's not the right man for this job. Okay, he's trying to get in somebody's Corvette. Somebody's come to rescue him. But it's funny, the driver's face keeps changing. So first it's Cohen, and then it's Manafort, and now it's one of those Proud Boy guys, um, McInnes. I don't know if that's his name. And he's there, and it's a really shiny red Corvette. Like, hey, we're gonna look good. And it's just I just get the feeling, all of these characters who are gonna kind of take on that persona of Donald Trump. They, look what happened to the first two. Look what happened to Cohen and Manafort. Here's the, McInnes character, and he's got a flashy car, and it looks like an escape. But I don't think it is. I think something bad's going to happen. He's not getting very far. Police have blocked off the road. And now they want to go the other direction and go illegally the wrong direction. But there's too many cars coming. Yeah, car after car after car after car is coming. So, Spirit, what are these cars? Is it like bad news or opposition or what's this problem mean? Oh, wow. There's an eclipse of the moon, of course, and as the moon is eclipsing the sun, the moon is moving off the sun, and it's like, hey, now we're gonna see like he's being really exposed for the truth of what he's done. What can you tell? What else, can you tell us anything more about Donald Trump in the next week or so, Spirit? Well, I see him doing like almost like kung fu, like just trying to stop everything from all directions, flipping a bunch of different swords. I don't know if that means. I mean, he does actually look skillful in this image, but I think that it also might mean that he's just going to have to do a lot of ninja moves. That's it. Can you tell us any more about this? Okay, lots of candles getting extinguished with like a candle extinguisher. It seems important that the candles are white and that it looks like they're actually like prayer candles in a church. I wonder if he's going to do something just so offensive that even the evangelicals will start to abandon him. I get the feeling that's a big yeah. That the evangelicals might start to think twice about him because there's a guy who shows up and he's got a halo and he's like, okay, you can borrow mine, Donald, but then he's like, actually, I changed my mind. No, you can't. Wow. Okay, it's actually a resurgence of a sort of. It feels like a moral authority has been returned back to the far right, religious extremists. Is there anything else you can tell us, Spirit, that will maybe cheer us up a little bit between now and this next week or something? What should we hope for? Everything he said, he's like, everything I've told you should be a hopeful message for all the viewers. All of those things should indicate dissipating power actually in the next week. Can I say that, Spirit? Can I say that his power is dissipating? Yeah, it's just getting spread very, very thin. It's just getting spread very, very thin, and he seems to be trying to play for the crowd, and they don't have nearly the interest that they used to. It's like they've heard it before, and in this case, it seems like his more conservative allies are starting to lose faith in Donald Trump. Is there any particular reason why, Spirit? It's something that he does. It's again, I'm going back to that sort of cliff where there's the woman standing there with her child, and it's like he's just done something terrible, and everybody knows it. And this time around, they're not, the religious right aren't just going to put up with it. So, thanks for watching.